What up, what up, what up? What is good, world? What is going on? Welcome to episode 11 of Toughest Balls on this beautiful day, Saturday on a different day, August 17, 2019. And we are having a lovely day. It's beautiful outside. Hope it's beautiful where you are. And if it's not, just hope it's beautiful inside your mind and your heart, because that's all that counts. We are going to get into quite a few things today. We're going to talk about the NXT TakeOver Toronto results. We're going to, of course, talk about the WWE SummerSlam results. I want to bring up the G1, the New Japan, the G1 Climax final, which was a good one. Also, NFL preseason. Week 3 is going on this week. Games are going down. Also in the NFL, some contract issues with some players. Specifically, I want to bring up what's going on with Dak Prescott. Also, an update was happening with Antonio Brown and his whole dealing. Is he going to retire or is he not going to retire? Or whatever he's going to do. And also some entertainment, which I don't think I was able to get into on the last episode. So we're going to review. I got to see a movie this past week. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Got to check that out. So I'm going to give you my opinion. Not going to give away any spoilers because, you know, it's still fairly new movie. Also, I'm only into a few episodes of this show, but I'm liking it so far. I'm going to bring up The Boys. That's on Amazon Prime. Kind of crazy. Yeah, so if you're a fan of that, I'm going to get into that a little bit. Also, with some hip hop in this episode, going to review Rick Ross's new album, Port of Miami 2. And I was kind of upset with the name of the album, but after hearing the album, I'm glad that's what he named it. So yeah, we're going to review quite a bit today. So sit back, relax on this beautiful Saturday and chill out. Yeah, which we're on a different day. I had to take a little trip with the fam yesterday to New York. Went out there, felt a little rushed. If you're going to spend a day in New York, you know, you got to get out there a little early. So, yeah, we're here on a Saturday instead of a Friday. But, yeah, so sit back, relax. Let's get into it. First off, let's get into NXT TakeOver Toronto, which was a good one. Sis, you need to start watching some of this stuff. I mean, it's good action. I mean, it's not what it used to be, but these guys put on a show. And when I mean a show, I'm talking about they fight on NXT. They fight. I don't know about on Raw and SmackDown.
Bloody and
with
stuff,
SummerSlam.
right?
With SummerSlam was good. Well, there was no blood. Was there blood? No, there was no blood in this one, if I remember correctly. But yeah, the first match they started off with a bang. It was for the NXT tag titles. It was the Street Profits versus the Undisputed Era. Of course, that being Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. This match set the tone for the night, which I didn't know which way it was going to go. I didn't know they were going to have the Street Profits drop the titles and have the Undisputed Era regain the belts, but a good result, keeping this momentum for the Street Profits. They come out with the win, retain their titles, and it was good for them. The only thing in the match is, to me, Angelo Dawkins, which I love Angelo Dawkins, but he looked a little winded. Like he looked a little tired early, so I don't know if because he's putting on a little weight as of late, but Ford, he's in shape. He's ripped. He he's on point with his conditioning. But it was a good match. It set the tone and really made the Street Profits look like the dominated team. And big up to Undisputed Era for putting over the Street Profits in this one, which was a great match. I want to see what's going to happen with the Street Profits as we have seen them on Raw as of late. So I don't know if they're going to bring them up soon, but we have seen them WWE do this in the past where they bring up NXT guys for a little bit just to show them off, so the WWE crowd gets familiar with the superstars that they call up. But I don't want them to get called up too soon, because it just seems like this WWE roster, they have too many wrestlers. I'm sorry, they have too many wrestlers. So I don't want to see Street Profits get called up too soon. I want to see them continue maybe a few more wins on these NXT takeover events. So as we continue on with the NXT takeover, the next match, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but it was a good match, and this is Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae. Like I thought, well, what happened? Io Shirai came out with the win, but she has surprised me with her change of attitude so quickly. Because it's not like she's been in NXT that long. She already is on the radar to probably hold the NXT Women's Championship in the future. So, but I was just surprised with her turning heel so quick. To me, don't get me wrong, I love it. She is good at it. Like, she's been one that surprised me, kind of like Shinsuke Nakamura, with being able to be good at being a face or heel. So being good at being a good guy or the bad guy, which a lot of wrestlers are not able to do. So big up to Io Shirai for doing her thing, and shout out Candice LeRae for putting on a good match. I don't know what's going to happen with Candice LeRae, because it's we know her and Johnny Gargano are together, but will they get called up to the main roster at the same time, or will it be one before the other? You would think Johnny, if one of them get called up first, it probably would be Johnny Gargano. But I'm just interested to see what happens with Candice LeRae, and will she spend more time in NXT, maybe getting a title opportunity or a title reign in her future, or helping build up other NXT women stars as she stays with the NXT brand. So that was a good match. So shout out Io Shirai for coming out with the win with that one. The next match I want to bring up was for the North American Championship, and this one was what I thought it was going to be. It was a instant classic match, and that match is the Velveteen Dream versus Roderick Strong versus Pete Dunne, with the North American Championship on the line. And Velveteen Dream goes. In this match, I could tell going into this match, I was not confident with Velveteen Dream coming out with the win, but as the match went on, you just did not know. You know, you didn't know if Roderick Strong was going to. It looked like, at one point, like Roderick Strong was about to win, and at another point, it looked like Pete Dunne was about to win, and it just went back and forth between the three guys. But at the end of the day, it was uh, Velveteen Dream coming out with the win. So bigger. I'm glad he held on to the title, like I mentioned on previous episodes. If he was to lose it, I would want it to have been Roderick Strong. You know, if Velveteen Dream had to drop the title, but the Triple H and William Regal, they have faith in Velveteen Dream, and hopefully they're building him out to be a megastar on the main roster. But you just don't know with WWE because, like I said before, their roster is just so jam packed. It's just too many. They have too many wrestlers. I don't know how they afford all these stars. I really don't. I don't know how they do it, but they do it, and they do it to try to keep other wrestling companies down, keep their competition, not be competition when they have majority of the talent. But they're going to get competition with AEW, but that's another conversation we can't have right now because that's a whole episode by itself. But with that said, this match was unbelievable. Pete Dunne did what he done, and I'm wondering what Pete Dunne, because he's been, with NXT. Then he wins the NXT UK championship, and then while holding the championship, he has to wait until they make NXT UK brand of its own and its own show. Which I'm sorry to say I don't watch. I wish I did. It's so much wrestling out there. If you are a wrestling fanatic, I don't know how you keep up with every wrestling organization and what's going on with each of them. Because I don't even watch Impact anymore, aka formerly known as TNA. Yeah, I don't even watch that anymore. And they probably have some great matches, but when you're presented on TV and the crowd isn't really loud, or it's not that many people in the crowd, I'm not interested really of what you're doing inside the ring. But with that said, back to NXT TakeOver Toronto. This was like I said, this was a great match, and big up to Velveteen Dream for coming out with the win in that match. The next match was for the NXT Women's Championship, and of course, the champion Shayna Baszler versus Mia Yim. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really like this match. And I've seen Shayna Baszler put on good matches before, but to me, it was Mia Yim, and Mia Yim is better than this. I've seen her have way better matches than this, so I don't know what it was on this night, if she was having a bad night, but I'm not going to put this on Shayna Baszler. Mia Yim just did not impress me at all. I mean, she had a few good spots in the match, but man, I was looking for her to do her thing, and it just didn't happen. And as the match went on, I was thinking, I'm like, I hope hopefully Shayna gets the win, and she did. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I'm not trying to talk bad about Mia Yim. I always liked her, but I haven't followed her before she was in TNA. well, aka Impact now, when she was Jade. I loved her then. I mean, she had some great matches when she was in the Knockouts division there. But I don't know, on a stage like this, when it's your chance, on the WWE stage, NXT, I don't care if that is NXT. It's still a big stage because it's WWE, and she just didn't impress me, and I was kind of disappointed. So as her career continues with this loss, as Shayna comes out with the win from this match, I just hope Mia Yim can bounce back, because I'm just gonna say I was disappointed. I was very disappointed in this match, and I guess I got to shout out Shayna Baszler for coming out with the win. And as we go along with the last match, I'm gonna bring up from NXT Takeover Toronto. This was the main event. It was for the NXT Championship, and this is Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano in a 2 out of 3 falls match to determine the NXT champion. And it was these guys put on classic matches every time they get in the ring. Every time they get in the ring. I mean, they never disappoint. But with the first fall, Johnny Gargano got himself disqualified on purpose, which I thought was crazy. Like, I understood what your game plan was. Okay, I will take this loss because I will win the next 2 falls back to back. Yeah, okay, you went in with that game plan, but it didn't work out. And I thought it was a dumb move. I understood it, but I thought it was a dumb move. I wouldn't have taken a loss like that. But he cost himself the title. I believe Johnny Gargano had done this in the past when he fought Tommaso Ciampa. He kind of screws himself, out of winning the match. And that's what he definitely did in this one. So he got disqualified in the first fall. The second fall, Gargano defeated Cole via submission. So Adam Cole tapped out. This whole match was incredible. But with the third fall, which was surprising because I didn't see it hanging from the rafters or the rooftop of the arena. The third fall was a cage topped off with barbed wire. Now they never do you never see the barbed wire in WWE matches, but with NXT it seems like they do more WCW type of things. And when that cage came down, and the look on their faces, especially Adam Cole's face, like it really looked like he did not know about it. So good acting on his end maybe, but that the crowd, they got live when they saw that cage coming out, because I believe just like me watching it on TV, they did not know that cage was up there. So the cage comes down, and of course these guys put on a fantastic ending to this match, and surprisingly, which I was happy to see, Adam Cole comes out with the win and retaining the NXT championship. So they are rolling with Adam Cole. I was unsure if he was going to take this because I didn't know if he would be getting called up to the main roster soon. So uh, big up to Adam Cole for coming out with the win. Love what they're finally doing with him. I've been kind of, getting this momentum on his side kind of been slow. So I guess it's just Triple H and Vince McMahon and everyone involved just building NXT as its own brand, and they're really going to have it as its own brand when I guess NXT is going to switch over to TV this fall to go against AEW. So Adam Cole may be NXT for a little while longer, and I'm just hoping they're able to build new stars because that's what NXT is always about. The hot new superstar that's up next. So hopefully they keep building. Of course, they always sign superstars that are on the independent circuit as well. But yeah, NXT Takeover Toronto was a great event, like I thought it was going to be, and I thought it was going to be better than SummerSlam. And I don't know if I can say if it was better than SummerSlam. SummerSlam came with it. I mean, I favor NXT over WWE main roster. Period. I just like what NXT does. But SummerSlam, as we're going to get into next, was pretty good. Was pretty good, and it was a great one. I was very surprised with SummerSlam. I was not disappointed at all. I mean, every match wasn't like, oh, the best match, but I'm not going to go through the whole card, but I'm going to bring up the matches that I liked, and the first match being it was on the pre-show, but it was for the Cruiserweight Championship, and it was Oni Lorcan versus the Cruiserweight Champion, Drew Gulak. And this was a great match. It was hard hitting like I thought it was going to be, and both guys are underrated in my opinion. Drew Gulak is very underrated because I believe he has charisma and he's great in the ring. He's not your typical WWE type of guy, which I'm glad to see that they're not going with what they usually go with. And Drew Gulak, he surprisingly finally got his opportunity as champion, and with this title defense, he comes out with the win. Only Lorcan always hits hard, so that was a great match, and I'm glad to see Drew Gulak continue with his title reign. Another match I want to bring up was for the Raw Women's Championship, and it was Natalya versus the champion Becky Lynch, and this match was great. Of course, at one point I thought Natalya was going to win, but of course Becky Lynch comes out with the win in that one, and it was a good match. I was not disappointed because Natalya, she always puts on great matches when she is in that spotlight, that sort of main event spotlight. The next match, of course, is Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler, and it was what it should have been. Goldberg coming out with the win, but Ziggler kind of got squashed, which I really don't like. But of course, they have to make Goldberg look like the unstoppable entity that he is. So it was okay for what it was. Wasn't great, but it was okay. And as we go along, next match was for the United States Championship, and that one was Ricochet versus the United States champion, my man, my boy, the phenomenal AJ Styles. And I was glad AJ came out with the win, but I don't know what they're doing with Ricochet. I mean, it's a roller coaster. He's winning and he's losing. He's winning and he's losing. Winning and he's losing. And I just don't like what they're doing with him right now. And he puts on cool matches. You know, like I said, I like the fact that AJ won because he's my guy. But what the heck are they doing with Ricochet? So I just don't like what they're doing with Ricochet. The next match was it could have been done without, because I thought it was going to go away and it didn't go that way. It is for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and this being Ember Moon, the challenger, going against the champion Bayley. And I guess they're going to continue with this whole Bayley thing. And Ember Moon comes out with the loss in this one, which I don't know. You know, the match was, you know, it was okay, but I don't know why you have Ember take the loss in this one, but it is what it is. The next match was Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon, which I'm sick of seeing Shane in matches on big cards like the SummerSlams and the WrestleManias. And I mean, just get out the way, Shane. Like, just get out the way. It was a good match though. Kevin Owens is my guy. He's a superstar. He should be holding the WWE title or the Universal title or something. But the next match, which I was surprised how good it was, and it was the legend, you have to say, Trish Stratus versus Charlotte Flair, and Trish Stratus bought the fight. Trish Stratus fought in this one. I was like, what? She still? I'm like, no, they need to bring her back for more matches. That's all I gotta say about this one. Charlotte Flair wins the match, which of course she should have won, but I want to see more Trish again. I'm sorry, I was surprised in this one. I don't want to say she's old or anything, because she still looks phenomenal. But wow, Trish still can put on a main stage, a big stage match. Like, wow. I was surprised. The next match, the ending, I was disappointed in. That being the WWE Championship. Randy Orton versus the champion Kofi Kingston. And this match, the ending was, it was a good match. But then for both of them to get, it was a double count out. That's how you end the match. So Randy couldn't put Kofi over. Everyone else is putting Kofi over, but Randy couldn't. I didn't like it, and I don't know what's up with that. But Kofi's still the champ. The next match was cool, and this match was Finn Balor versus The Fiend, aka Bray Wyatt. And this was a good match. For the first showing of The Fiend, it was great. I want to see The Fiend versus the Demon. That's what I want to see. So it really wasn't exciting on Finn Balor's end, but on Bray Wyatt's end, it was what I wanted to see him do, and he came out with the win, and that was a great match. The next match was good, and it surprised me, and it was for the Universal Championship. Seth Rollins versus the champion Brock Lesnar, and Seth Rollins went into this match kind of banged up from previous beatdowns from Brock Lesnar the last couple weeks, but Seth, surprisingly, man, he really turned it up. He turned it up at SummerSlam, and he put it on Brock Lesnar, and I have to say he burnt it down, and he beat down Brock Lesnar and took the belt from Brock Lesnar. Now, what's going to happen with Brock Lesnar? Are we going to finally see him gone? Which I hope so. I hope he's up out of here. Up and away. Go back to UFC or whatever you're going to do. Like, enough is enough with Brock Lesnar in WWE. I was kind of happy that Seth took the win in this match. And it was a good match. It was a good match. So, with that said, as we move right along, I want to, I'm not going to spend too long. The NFL preseason week 3 is going on this week, and we have some games from the past from this past Thursday, and we have some games tonight as well. The games going on tonight, we have today we're going to have the Browns versus the Colts. We got the Chiefs versus Steelers, the Cowboys versus the Rams. What else we got today? We got the Patriots versus Titans. We got the Lions, the Detroit Lions versus the Houston Texans. We got quite a few games, and I believe we got some games tomorrow as well. Like the NFL preseason rolling, and not just me. The NFL regular season is right around the corner. But as we continue in the NFL, I want to tell you what's going on with Dallas Cowboys, specifically Dak Prescott. And Dak Prescott wants money. He wants that paper. And he doesn't want $30 million a year. He wants $40 million. And I'm like, oh man. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I'm just going to say that's just a little too much. I'm not going to say you pay the man. If he wants $30 million, maybe a little over $30 million, give him that money. But $40 million, Dak, like, come on, bro. Like, come on, man. We got to be able to pay Zeke. We got to pay Amari Cooper. And other people got to get paid, bro. Like, come on, man. I understand what you see, what the Dallas Cowboys are, but, yo, come on, man. That's a little too much. Get your money, but that's a little too much. Also, another player, a little update, what's going on the Raiders, and specifically Antonio Brown. Last week talking about, he's going to retire because he can't wear the helmet he wants to wear, and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. But he's saying he never said that. And you just don't know what Antonio Brown is. One thing one week is one thing the next week. Of course, he's a phenomenal player, but all the drama stuff, let's chill with all the drama stuff, okay? Relax on that. All right, let's get to some football. Heal up, get those feet healed up, and put some wins. I know my guy Randy Garcia, he would love to see his Raiders win. So, hopefully they get some wins. So heal up Antonio Brown and put on the show like I know you can do, and chill with all the drama. All right. So as we move along from sports and all that, we're gonna get into some entertainment before we get up out of here. First off, I want to talk about a movie. I'm not gonna give away spoilers. I'm not going to do that. Went to see a movie this past week. It was Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and my point is supposed to be like horror and everything. It was some scary things. It was a little funny with some things, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I was so scared. It was a cool movie. It was a good movie. Parts of it, I mean, it was well put together. Not oh my god, it's so scary. Don't get me wrong, it was some scary stuff. that will freak you out. But as a whole, it was a cool movie. Didn't like scare the crap out of me, but it was a good movie. I liked it. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Check it out. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Also, these are just things I'm bringing up because I'm still going through this show and the season and a new show on Amazon Prime called The Boys. Or I guess called Prime Video. I guess that's what they call Amazon Prime Video. New show for The Boys. Basically, about superheroes. And to me, if you ask me what it's like, it's basically if you remove Stan Lee out of the superhero picture and put Vince McMahon in the superhero picture, this is what superheroes would be like. Man, what I'm talking about is from like the PR and promoting and the marketing part. Jerry Jones has that same thing in him when it comes to marketing and promoting your brand. But that's what this basically is, and kind of the dirty behind the scenes stuff that's going on with these superheroes. These guys are not as cookie cutter and clean as you think they are. There's some nasty superheroes, man. So, like I said, I'm not gonna give away any spoilers. I'm only a few episodes in. So, you got Amazon Prime, sis? You got Amazon Prime?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you need to check this out.
But I got the wrong package.
What do you mean?
I got like the basic one.
So you can't watch the shows?
No, they were telling me that I can. I just have to get the student account or something like that. So
what?
I gotta go to my school. And I can get it for free.
Oh, for the free.
Yeah,
oh, that's always
free,
good.
For
Get it for free.
99.
But yeah, gotta check that out, sis. That's a good show. The Boys on Prime Video. Make sure you check that out. And I'm gonna tell you my whole what I thought of the whole season. But yeah, check that out. The Boys on Amazon Prime. Last but not least, I'm gonna talk about an album. We're gonna get into some hip hop before we get up out of here. And this is new album from Rick Ross, Port of Miami 2. I believe I brought up in the beginning. I was a little upset with the name of the album because I'm like, come on, man. Port of Miami is a classic. Port of Miami is like, you gonna call this Port of Miami 2? Man, it better be good, man. I listened to the album. I only listened to it one time through. But this album is dope. I'm not just talking it up just to be talking it up. This is a good album. Like I said, I gotta listen to it a couple more times so I can pick out my favorites and everything. But if you haven't checked it out yet, make sure when you check it out, you listening to it in your car, and I hope you got some good speakers because the production on this album is good. Of course, lyrically, Rick Ross is always on point, and I believe they said Pusha T was supposed to be on this album, but he didn't end up on the album. So I'm like, what is going on? What is up with that? You know what I'm saying? They usually always able to work it out when it comes to each of those guys doing a verse for each other. But I believe it's out there somewhere. I need to find it. The verse that Pusha T that was supposed to be on this album. But yeah, this is, I believe he named that album what it was supposed to be named. And is it better than the first Port of Miami? No, but it was named for the time that we're in, from the first Port of Miami. Remember, that was years ago. We talking about over a decade ago. You know what I'm saying? We talking about a long time ago. So And with how music is now, and you can hear how Rick Ross has evolved. He's really that dude. He's really the boss. He's really a guy that always puts out classic hits and classic material, whether it's just singles or it's whole albums. But please make sure you check out Port of Miami 2. Also, make sure you check out The Boys on Prime Video, and also be sure to check out the movie Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And when you check it out, make sure you come back to the show and leave a comment, or send an email to toughestballs@gmail.com. I would love to start getting your feedback so we can continue growing, and you can keep enjoying the content that we put out from week to week. But before we get up out of here, I will like to ask you to please follow the show on all social networks: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And that's Tough as Balls. Tough as Balls. Those 3 words. TOUGHASBALLS. Tough as Balls. Simple as that. Okay? On everything. On Facebook, on Twitter, and Instagram. And also, wherever you listen to your podcast, be sure to subscribe, comment, like, and share. Please, we need your involvement. We need your feedback. We need to hear from you, like I said, so we can continue to grow, and we can continue to get better and better for you, because I love doing this. I love giving you my view of wrestling. And one thing I want to mention before we slide up out of here, and that's a wrestling thing that I forgot to mention earlier, and that was the G1 Classic, the G1 Climax final, and it was Kota Ibushi versus Jay White. And I don't know how these guys can continue to go as they go in that tournament, but I was glad to see. I thought it was going to go another way. I thought Jay White was going to win, but Kota Ibushi comes out with the win. I'm glad to see him continue to grow, and his stock is getting higher and higher in New Japan. Of course, we've seen him a few years ago in the Cruiserweight Classic on WWE Network, which he put on the show, and WWE wanted to sign him then, but he turned him down. He went back to New Japan, and I'm glad that he did that, because you just don't know what you're going to get when you sign with WWE, and will they get you, and when they put you over the right way when you come over to America. So I was glad to see Kota Ibushi come out with the win in that match, and hopefully this is a move forward for him to get his title shot and title reign, hopefully at this coming Wrestle Kingdom in January. So hopefully this is Kota Ibushi's way, his way to the top of the mountain in New Japan. So thank you for joining me on this episode of Toughest Balls. Like I said, subscribe, comment, like, share on Apple Podcasts, on Google Play, on Spotify, on wherever you listen to your podcast. Tune in, wherever. Please subscribe to the podcast, Toughest Balls. I am your host, Mark Brown. Please join us again next week for episode 12 of Toughest Balls. I'm up out of here. Later. Stand
out from the rest. He can save it, flip and invest. My type of man up on internet. Best time when we eat and caress. He know I'm rare, one of a kind. I don't want flowers, I want the time. Time is money, give me the ROI. Try, fly me Dubai, let me see culture. Tired for right side passenger. Back shot, look out from the jet window. Business I run 40K feet up.